Father. "I don't like your stink either." Rigg didn't really believe that. The pelts they took from the trapped animals stank a lot worse than Rigg ever could. In fact, the stink of the animal skins was Rigg's main odor. It clung to his clothing and hair like burrs. But Rigg didn't argue. There was no point in arguing. For instance, this morning, before they separated, they were talking as they walked through the woods. Father encouraged talking. "We're not hunters, we're trappers," he said. "It doesn't matter if the animals run from us right now, because we'll catch them later, when they can't see us or hear us or even smell us." Thus Father used their endless walks for teaching. "You have a severe case of ignorance, boy," he often said. "I have to do my best to cure that sickness, but it seems like the more I teach you, the more things you don't know." "I know everything I need to know already," Rigg always said. "You teach me all kinds of strange things that have nothing to do with the way we live. Why do I need to know about astronomy or banking or all these languages you make me speak? I find the paths of animals, we trap them, we sell the furs, and I know how to do every bit of it." To which Father always replied, "See how ignorant you are. You don't even know why you need to know the things you don't know yet." "So tell me," said Rigg. "I would, but you're too ignorant to understand the reasons why your ignorance is a fatal disease. I have to educate you before you'll understand why it was worth the bother trying to tan your brain." That's what he called their schooling sessions, tanning Rigg's brain. Today they were following the trail of an elusive pench, whose pelt was worth 10 otters because pench fur was so thick and the colors so vibrant. During a brief lull in Father's endless teaching, during which he was presumably trying to come up with another problem for Rigg to work out in his head, "If a board fence is 9 hands high and 120 yards long, how many feet of 4-inch slat will you need to buy from the lumber mill, knowing that the slats come in 20 and 14-hand lengths?" Answer: what good is a 9-hand-high slat fence? Any animal worth keeping inside it can climb it or jump over it or knock it down. Then a knuckle on the back of his head, and he had to come up with the real answer. Rigg started talking about nothing at all. "I love autumn," said Rigg. "I know it means winter is coming, but winter is the reason why people need our furs, so I can't feel bad about that. It's the colors of the leaves before they fall, and the crunching of the fallen leaves underfoot. The whole world is different." "The whole world?" asked Father. "Don't you know that on the southern half of the world it isn't even autumn?" "Yes, I know that," said Rigg. "And even in our hemisphere, near the tropics, it's never autumn and leaves don't fall except high in the mountains, like here. And in the far north, there are no trees, just tundra and ice, so leaves don't fall." "The whole world? You mean the tiny little wedge of the world that you've seen with your own ignorant eyes?" "That's all the world I've seen," said Rigg. "If I'm ignorant of the rest, that's your fault." "You aren't ignorant of the rest, you just haven't seen it. I've certainly told you about it." "Oh, yes, Father. I have all kinds of memorized lists in my head, but here's my question. How do you know all these things about parts of the world we can never see because they're outside the wall?" Father shrugged. "I know everything." "A certain teacher once told me that the only truly stupid man is the one who doesn't know he's ignorant." Rigg loved this game, partly because Father eventually got impatient with it and told him to shut up, which would mean Rigg had won. "I know that I know everything because there are no questions to which I don't know the answer." "Excellent," said Rigg. "So answer this question. Do you know the answers to the questions you haven't thought of yet?" "I've thought of all the questions," said Father. "That only means you've stopped trying to think of new ones." "There are no new questions." "Father, what will I ask you next?" Father huffed. "All questions about the future are moot. I know all the answers that are knowable." "That's what I thought. Your claim to know everything was empty brag." "Careful how you speak to your father and teacher." "I chose my words with the utmost precision," said Rigg, echoing a phrase that Father often used. "Information only matters if it helps us make correct guesses about the future." Rigg ran into a low-hanging branch. This happened rather often. He had to keep his gaze upward because the pench had moved from branch to branch. "The pench crossed the stream," he said. Then he clambered down the bank. Vaulting over a stream did not interrupt the conversation. "Since you can't know which information you'll need in the future,